The issue of overhead on research grants is a serious issue. There is a lack of transparency.
There is certainly an opacity to how that overhead gets used, and it sometimes seems that we should, through those overhead funds, have support for different aspects that is more limited than it seems that it should be, considering the overhead that our grants bring in.
The university collects over 50% of the value of the grant when full overhead is paid by the federal government, for example. So that means that if I am awarded a $1 million grant, the university gets an additional $500,000. And supposedly, this is to cover things like lighting, space, equipment maintenance, etc. Every college then gets 50% of that. So 50% of the overhead is kept by central administration, and what they do with it, we don't know. There is no transparency about that. And then each college makes a decision regarding what they are going to do with the 50% that they keep. And in some colleges, they keep all of it. And what do they do with it? We don't really know. And so the investigator may get some of it. In my college, we're very fortunate that some of it does trickle down to the department and to the investigator, a small percentage. But for the most part, the money kept by central administration and by the colleges is, we do not know how they spend it. Supposedly, it's spent on things like startup costs for new faculty members and things like that, but we really don't know. It would be very nice to have more transparency about that so that we understand exactly what that is going to. For example, if a piece of my equipment that I use in my laboratory breaks, I have to fix it. There isn't a fund for me to go to that comes out of the overhead. And if they think that they're paying for things like equipment maintenance, why isn't there a fund for me to be able to use? Things like what we used to call secretarial staff or administrative staff. It's very difficult to put that into a grant. You have to have a really special reason for putting that in, because they'll say, that's why we're giving overhead to you. But we aren't ever given funds for that kind of support. So the use of indirect costs is a serious issue. We need more transparency. The faculty need to be involved in the discussion of exactly how it's spent. No question about that.